Tackle Junkies, what's going on, fellas? Really appreciate you guys clicking on the video. If you guys haven't subbed to the channel yet, definitely consider subscribing. Don't forget to ring that bell. The way you guys are notified every time I release a new video. Always smash the thumbs up. If you like the video, of course, don't forget to leave some comments down below. Guys, today we're talking fall favorites. Okay, you can toss way more than what I'm about to show you, but I try to break it down just to my favorites. I'm going to try and keep it to 5. I may mention some other baits as well. You know, it's a fun time to fish. You know, fall is all about the shad, and we have shad in our lakes, so for the most part my baits try to resemble a shad as far as profile and color goes. Okay, like I said, could be a fun time to fish. Right now it's actually pretty tough. We're still in the transition. You got some shallow fish, you got some deep fish. The shad are starting to move up. Actually, last week as I was fishing out here, actually a couple different lakes, there was shad all around my boat the entire time I was fishing. So what does that mean? It means you have a ton of competition out there. That's one of the reasons it can be very tough in the fall, right? Anyways, let's break down my top 5 baits to fish in the fall. Let's kick it off with a spinnerbait. I mean, you cannot go wrong with a spinnerbait in the fall. This one here is the Accent. That's the triple shaddy. You can see there it's got 3 willow blades on there, 3 chrome willow blades. And I've mentioned this many times in the past, but you guys know I fish pretty stained to muddy water, and even with that water clarity, I prefer a willow blade. Okay, the blade itself, a willow blade, just mimics a shad to me more than a Colorado blade. As far as profile goes, size, flash, vibration, a willow blade mimics a shad better than a Colorado. Obviously, a Colorado has more thump to it, and you would think it would do better in muddier water. But for me personally, I do much better with a willow bladed spinnerbait. Again, that's the Accent triple shaddy. I guess we can go over gear as well. A majority of these baits, guys, you're going to notice that they're reaction type baits. Okay, they're moving baits. I'm using baits that will allow me to cover water quickly to find the bass. Okay, but we're tossing that on the Akuma EVX. It's a 6'8" medium heavy with a moderate fast action. Great spinnerbait rod here. It's got that nice soft tip. Okay, again, that's in a 6'8". The reel is a Daiwa. That's a Steez A in a 6'3", 15-pound Seagar Invis-X. Okay, so that's bait number 1. Now, I don't have it out on the deck, but I'll also have out like a swim jig and even like a standalone swim bait, just like an Exo Swim here. That's one there with a little, what's that called? That's the Owner Flashy Swimmer. You know, depending on conditions will determine which one I'm going to throw. Like today really is perfect for the spinnerbait. It looks like it's about to storm really any second here. We have a ton of cloud cover. It's blowing like 20 miles an hour out here, so we have the right conditions for a spinnerbait. Now, fishing stained to muddier water, I can get away with fishing a spinnerbait really with no wind, no cloud cover, just because the water clarity is so low. But if you're in clear water, you definitely want, like I said, some cloud cover, some wind, something to help camo the bait. Okay, so the clearer the water that I'm in, I will make a few adjustments. So like I said, if I'm around clear water and we don't have any cloud cover, it's a bright sunny day, I may put away the spinnerbait and pick up the swim jig because I don't want that flash. You know what I'm saying? So if the bite even gets tougher, I may put down the swim jig and just go for the standalone swim bait. So I will kind of play around with those 3 depending on how tough the bite is and the conditions that I'm faced with. Okay, so number 2, let's go with topwater. I mean, topwater is a blast to fish all year long, right? But it can be a great time to fish a topwater in the fall. Okay, now of course there's a ton of different topwaters you can be tossing, from whopper ploppers to poppers to walking baits. Man, I love a buzz bait. Okay, buzz baits, again, it's a quick way to cover water, throw it out, reel it in. You can cover a lot of water very quickly, and man, it's an explosive, fun bite. I love a buzz bait. If I could pick just one top water bait to fish, I mean, it would be tough not to pick a frog, right? I'm sure we all can agree on that. But besides a frog, I do believe a buzz bait is probably my favorite way to catch them on top. We have the Picasso Lures. That's the rusty squeaker there. I do have a video on this buzzbait and actually the trailer that I'm using as well, which I will link down below. That's just a little Biffle Bug Junior on there. You know, I prefer to have a soft plastic as a trailer over his skirt. You know, you can throw them further. They plane much faster. It gives the bass something to hold on to. So again, I'll link that video down below. Definitely check it out. But number 2, gotta be a buzz bait. All right, we have that on the Akuma EVX 7.2 medium heavy fast action rod. Now, I will use this rod for Texas rigs as well. It's a good kind of do-all type rod. Even though it's got a faster action, it's a bit on the softer side, so it's great for moving baits. It's even labeled Skip and Dock Swim Jig Chatterbait Rod. And again, I do love it for the buzz bait. Got the Corrado 200 on here in a 7.4, and that is 17-pound Seaguar Invis-X. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3. Number 3 has got to be a swim bait, some sort of swim bait, whether it be, you know, like the 10,000 fish headhunter here, whether it be a standalone, it can be like a baby bull shad or a bullgill, something like that. It's some sort of swim bait to mimic a shad. I haven't played around with these too much. I did rig it up today, and this is a 1 ounce bait, 10,000 fish headhunter, nice looking shad imitator right there. And just a great way to cover some water, throw them out, reel them in. It's got a lot of tail kick to it. Okay, we have that rigged on this is the Akuma frog swim bait rod. Now don't let that branding fool you there, okay? You can throw a 1/4 to 2 ounce lures on this rod. You know, years ago, man, I got a video which I'll link down below. It's actually a review on this rod. Now this is a newer series, but the blank is the same compared to the old series, the Gen 1. On this newer series here, they've changed the graphics up, upgraded the components, but it's the same blank. But with this blank, I was launching a little 1/8 ounce underspin, or an 1/8 ounce little weighted belly hook with a swim bait. I mean, you can launch them with this rod. So just because it says frog swim bait, don't think you have to have heavy baits for this rod. Like I said, you can toss lighter swim baits and lighter heads, you know, with this rod here. 7.3 heavy fast. Again, don't let the rating fool you. It's not a broomstick. We have the Helios SX on there in a 7.3. And that is 17-pound Seaguar Invis-X. Again, we have the headhunter on there, but really any type of swim bait will get the job done as long as it resembles a shad. And guys, I will mix in some different colors as well. Like I said, I do fish pretty stained and muddy water, so sometimes I will throw something a bit brighter, some chartreuse, or even if I'm pitching plastics, I'll still throw some black and blue. Even crankbaits, I will toss a crawdad type color, red cross, something like that. So you still want to be able to be seen in the water, but you do want to mimic the shad the best that you can as well. Okay, number 4, we have to go with the underspin. If you guys have been watching the channel this year, man, we just slayed them out of the ponds on an underspin this year. Now this one here is a new one from 10,000 Fish. It's the Cycle Bait underspin. Just tied it on today. Haven't even fished it yet. Little Biospawn Exo Swim on there. But nice looking underspin there. I do believe that's a mustad hook. It's a nice beefy hook on there. And my experience with the Cycle Bait stuff is it's got a lot of body roll to it. So you're gonna have the boot tail kick in, and you're also gonna have probably the head rolling as well with that Cycle Bait deal on there. So pretty excited to play around with this. But like I said, any underspin will get her done. It's more of a finesse, you know, technique versus the spinnerbait. So if I still want a bit of flash, but they're not hitting the spinnerbait, I will drop down to that underspin. And I have a full, like, Plano 3700 series box dedicated to underspin. That's how much I love the underspin. If you guys haven't checked out my earlier videos this year at the ponds, definitely check it out, man. The underspin does work. But we got that rigged on the Akuma. This is the TCS. This is the Gen 1 series here, the Martin APC. The new one, I believe it's called like the APC all-purpose rod. But like I said, the rod blank is the same, 6'9", medium heavy with a moderate fast action. Anytime I'm trying to toss lighter baits, this is the rod that I reach for. You know, I got videos tossing little 1/8 ounce underspins on this rod, 10, 12, 15 pound test. It'll get it done. Like I said, the rod's nice and soft. It'll load a lighter lure really easy. So again, if you're trying to toss lighter stuff, definitely check out this rod right here. That's the Shimano SLX, and I do believe I have 15-pound Seaguar and VizX on this combo as well. The reel is in a 6.3, but yeah, just a fun rod to fish with. Like I said, it's nice and soft. You know, even the smaller fish feel like tanks on this rod. So when you get a good one, man, it is a blast to fish with. But like I said, it loads a lighter lure really well. 1/8 to 3/4 on this particular rod right here. So yeah, underspin is going to be number 4. So we got spinnerbait, we got buzzbait, swim bait, underspin. Like I said, they all resemble the shad. And like I said, I will toss in a little standalone swim bait there as well, swim jig. Just depends on the conditions that I'm faced with. But you guys have to know, number 5 is going to be a square bill. And I do have 3 different ones here. We'll just grab one of the rods to talk about, but I do have the Bomber Square A tied on in Tennessee shad. You guys do know that this color is discontinued, and it was sad to see it go. It's possible that it could be coming back out. I only have a couple of them left, so I don't bring it out that often. But that's one of my go-to colors right there. Tennessee shad, Bomber Square A. One of my favorite crankbaits. For $4, man, you cannot beat them. Code TJ81 over there at LureNet will save you guys 15%. That'll be linked down below. But man, I love the Tennessee shad color. Don't know why they discontinued it, but there is a chance, guys. There is a chance it's coming back. I will keep you guys updated for sure on that. So again, Bomber Square A is one I always have tied on. Let's see here, KVD 1.5. Now that's the rattling, and I'll show you guys a quick difference between the rattling and the so-called hard knock here in a second. But KVD 1.5, okay, the rattling, that's the Bass Pro exclusive. And the one that I've been tossing the last couple weeks here is the soft knock. Well, I mean hard knock. Hard knock's what's on it. Guys, it ain't no hard knock. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way really fast. Okay, and I do have an unboxing video where I did talk about this before. I'll let you guys hear it again here. Let me get them both out, do a little side by side. Okay, so here is the Bass Pro exclusive. And I believe a lot of you guys don't even know that they make a rattling version of the KVD 1.5. They make a silent, which you can get everywhere. The rattling you can only get at Bass Pro. So I'm assuming they came out with this hard knock so they can sell a rattling version everywhere. Okay, but like I said, it's definitely not a hard knock. Okay. So here's the rattling. Bass Pro exclusive rattling. Here's the hard knock. Yeah. Rattling. Hard knock. To me, the hard knock is way more high-pitched. Really not a fan of it. I bought them, so I'm going to use them, but I'll no longer buy any more of the hard knock. I'll just buy the rattling KVDs that are the Bass Pro exclusive. So you guys want at least in my mind, a true one-knocker type rattle for the KVD 1.5, get the Bass Pro exclusive here. Do not get the hard knock, unless you want that high-pitched sound, but like I said, to me, it's definitely not a hard knock. Okay. Let's talk real fast about the combo here. But you guys know, man, I'm a huge fan of shallow cranking. I love it. Really, I could fish a shallow crankbait all day long, every day, and not get sick of it. It's just how I love to fish, okay? Just cover a lot of water with it. You know, any riprap that I see, lay down stumps, I'm definitely cranking them with a KVD 1.5. All right, this combo here, man, this is a new rod that I've been using. If you guys see one of my last unboxing videos, you'll see that I got a few rods in from Kistler, okay, and this is one of them right here. This is the Kistler, this is the Feel and Reel. It's their hybrid rod. It's the only one that has a carbon blank with a glass tip. Now, the one thing that I did notice about this rod, not that it's bad, but with that glass tip, it's got a little more weight to it than what I'm used to. But after I'm fishing with it for a bit, you don't even notice it. But that is something that I did notice, like I said, with the glass rod, or the glass tip, I should say, it's got a bit more weight to it. It does have a nice soft tip, being glass. And you'll see here, man, I got hit right at the boat, only had a few feet of line out, but with that softer action, I was able to get that fish in the boat. So with that glass tip, it's got a very nice soft action to it. Again, this is a 7-foot medium heavy. I do believe it's just a moderate action rod. It doesn't say on here, but with that glass tip, I'd imagine it's just a moderate action. 7-foot medium heavy, a 1/4 to 1 ounce lures. Line rating is 15 to 20 pound test on this particular rod. Of course, we have that paired up with the Tatula. That's the Elite, one of my favorite reels to date, in a 6'3", 15-pound Seagar in VizX. But overall, guys, a very comfortable combo in hand. I do have a couple other rods that I got from them as well, and at the end of the season we'll kind of do a little video kind of going over what I like and didn't like about these rods. But anyways, guys, that is my top 5 baits for fall fishing. And like I said, there's plenty other baits you could be fishing. This is just the ones that are my favorite, that I have the most confidence in. But guys, I'm gonna get back to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys, and we will see you guys on the next one.